Preston and I are back in the Ominica region for our 4th annual spring bear hunt. We've got about 6.5 days and 4 tags. It's a little bit warmer than what we'd like to have it for this time of year to try to find the bears. But we're just getting ready to get the truck loaded up. Preston brought his side-by-side, so we can cover a little bit more ground this year. We'll see up in the woods. So I just set up a target back over here before we go hunting this evening. We're gonna shoot the rifles. We've been traveling, haven't shot since spring or fall, so just gonna do a little target practice and then go kill a bear. Wouldn't be the first or second time we killed one on arrival day. Preston and I both shoot 300 Winchester Magnums. We prefer a 200 grain bullet for bears, which provides deeper penetration when it counts. What we're doing right now is we're just driving up to a place where out of the last 3 years Preston's got his bear. He's killed 2 of them up here. We know there's a lot of bears up here, but every year is different. The weather's been much different this year than it was last year. There's not anywhere near as much grass. The snow level's way down lower than we thought. So we're just driving up here and all the roads that we scout, we're just looking for bear tracks or bear shit along the road. And we want to find a place where there's like multiple piles in a very short distance. Would be one of the areas that we focus on. We know there's lots of bears up here, but we haven't seen any sign yet. So we'll just keep scouting until we find them. We just seen our first bear. It's about 70 yards down the road. He just ducked off to the right when we came around the corner. It was a beautiful, probably 4-year-old, really nice looking bear. And one of the things that we've learned before is that a lot of times when they spook off the road like that, if you just give them a few minutes, they'll come right back up and start feeding again. So we're just gonna hang out here and wait. See if Preston can't fill his tag right now.
It's that next patch I'm worried about. So.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't want to get stuck tonight. It's just all moose tracks.
Yeah.
There was no snow here last year. None. So weird because it was so much more mild winter with less snow, but there's more snow left this year. So it's very different than last year. Although we seen a bear almost in the exact same place you killed yours last year, so. That's pushing 300 yards, Preston. Yeah, that's too far. It does look kind of small. Oh, that's a little one, Preston, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's your call, man. His ears are pretty close together.
He's a little bit bigger, isn't he?
He's a little bigger. He'll turn sideways. He's coming straight toward us.
I'm not going to shoot him straight on, but...
So, we gave the bear about 20 minutes and then came down where we thought he ducked into the brush. There's a trail that came off the road here. I was pretty certain that's what it was, but Preston and I have combed this entire area for at least 25 meters on both sides that we know is beyond where he was standing. So we haven't found any blood. There's nothing. So I don't know. I gotta go talk to Preston and see what he wants to do, but I think I'll go back up and get a reference point on where we were when Preston shot, because I had the camera going, so I'll get the footage. Maybe he wasn't standing where we thought. So we'll take a look at that and try again, I guess. Stay there, just keep up. It might be
Oh, we got lots of wool. So we got a bear down. We got a bear down. Bear down. There's a big ass hole in that bear.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why didn't he bleed like that up there?
Oh, he's tiny. He's fucking tiny, Dad. He's a little guy. He's a little guy. That's alright. Still think he's bigger than that first one. Look at that hole. How did he not bleed? Just everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane. That we had to go drop by drop almost halfway down here.
Good job, though. Good job. What are you looking up? Good job looking on your phone to see where he ran off. That was good thinking. All right, another one. First day.
Yeah. We never get overly concerned about the size of the bears. We hunt for the meat, and the younger bears taste a little cleaner. The most important thing to optimize the quality of the meat is getting them field dressed and skinned as quickly as possible. The meat needs to cool to prevent any gamey flavors. Day 2, we're back to scouting again. Our scouting trip turned into a harvest trip last night. So evening time out in this area has always been by far the best. Like, we see more bears in the last 2 or 3 hours in the evening here, and back home for that matter, than we see the whole rest of the days, the whole rest of the time. So I always want to try to, it seems like we're getting a late start this morning, but we're going out about 9 o'clock, and our plan is to stay out until dark. That's a good sized bear there. That's a big one. That is a decent sized bear.
Look at that little track. That's a little guy.
That's a little one there. But
So I'm gonna think
this one are the 2 front paws.
I'm gonna say a sow and a cub.
That's a big sow. That track's much fresher. That one could have been from this morning. There's a couple more there. Walk through here. So there's not a lot of bear track here, but they're consistently been through here. I'm not, even with all the sign here, I'm not super excited about this place, because we know from the game cams last year that the bear, at least we just had one in here, but the bears move through like one every couple days, maybe 2 or 3 bears moving through here over the course of a week. There's definitely some activity here, so we'll mark this on the Onyx and look around a little bit more, but not super excited about this spot. Just a little guy. It's back foot, front foot. We're heading to our next spot where we've killed bears before. We thought we were onto something. We've seen a really nice bear down the road here, but keeping an eye on it for a minute. This is a sow with a year-old cub. Big bear though. So we'll carry on.
I'm just trying to like you said, look at her ears and just kind of gauge her size. Okay, so her ears are definitely further apart.
Well, we finished our morning scout. It's clear. Down here in the lower part of this, and we saw quite a bit of bear sign, and then seen that beautiful sow and cub along the road that we walked in on there. But most of the tracks were sows and cubs, and the one we seen was sow and cub, and so we're heading over to the other side, getting back up in a little bit higher elevation and scouting. Finished scouting the area we started to scout last night, and we'll work our way from the lower side up, see what we can find over there. We spent the rest of the afternoon checking spots we've been fired up about since we planned this trip last fall. Bouncing from one back road to the next, glassing cuts that looked good on the map but turned up empty. We hiked the old roads looking for tracks, anything that said bear had been here recently. But the sign just wasn't there. And with every empty drainage, it hit us how lucky Preston was to fill his tag on day 1. Some days the mountain gives you a break. Today we're paying our dues for the next opportunity. Without seeing any sign yesterday up above, we're in elevation from probably 1,500 to 3,000 feet. 3,000 is where the snow line is right now, so we couldn't get up higher than that. But no bear activity. which is weird because Preston got his bear up there the day we were here, but we haven't seen nothing up there since. So we decided to just keep dropping elevation lower and lower and lower, and came down here and got back off the beaten path a ways, and found a really good one spot where there was one bear feeding earlier today, and then this, and there's lots of bears in here. So this is definitely a place we'll spend this evening or tomorrow evening for sure. But feeling a little more optimistic than I was yesterday afternoon. There's a big wolf here too. And possibly a cat. There's quite a few bear tracks right here. And that one looks pretty fresh. There's very consistent bear tracks here. There's old ones and fresh ones. There's a good bear back here. Oh yeah. Look how heavy it went down into the... Yeah. So we just found this back area off the main road where all the tracks were in the mud down below. There's lots of tracks up here. So we're going to go over to this tree close to the road and throw up our last game cam. But this is a great place. We could hunt this from tree stands. This would be awesome. This would be great. So you're looking for trees right here. What it is about this spot that you like?
For one, there's lots of activity on this road. Two, you can see both directions quite a ways.
I think if you like this spot, I would go down in the bend of this next corner that goes off to the right and do the same thing. Find a tree that's just backing off the tree line. So you look for trees that are about the size of this one right here. Probably 16, 20 inch diameter, that are just stovepipe shaped up, don't have a lot of taper to them. And the other thing is not a bunch of limbs. Like, you don't want to get one of those brushy trees with big old limbs. It takes forever as you're climbing to cut all the limbs off. But you don't want to be right out on the edge. Like Preston said, they'll spot you from far away. So, but this is a beautiful area back here and well off the main road. Sweet. So I like this tree right here. It's out on the edge a little bit further, but man, this could be a good spot. I have no idea what that is. We haven't seen any bears today. It's our second... We're almost at the end of today. It could be the second day in a row without seeing a bear. I've seen a lot more sign today, but didn't see one. Today our plan was simple. Grab our tree stands, hike back on the grassy road where we seen the fresh bear sign, and wait for an opportunity. Although we hunt from our tree stands often, this is the first time we've set up for bear. But the abundance of tracks, fresh and old, had us feeling this was the best strategy to fill another tag. It's my turn to get out in front and hopefully fill my first tag, so we have a couple days remaining to get Preston his second bear before his permit to hunt in Canada expires. Well, it worked. I was just getting ready to put my sling back on my gun, and he walked around the corner. Gotta climb down and go meet up with Preston. We'll give him a little bit. He ran over the side there. He was sitting by that tree, and I think he just died there, but I can't tell for sure. So I'll just give him some time. I don't want to spook him out into that brush if he's not yet good. Bear down. Okay, I've got him field dressed. It's warm today, but we need to get the hide off this thing as quick as we can. And there's a spot not too far from here that's a old moose camp with a rail on it, so we're gonna get him over there and then hoist him up so we can quarter him up out here and get the meat started cooling in plastic bags so it doesn't get dirty on the side-by-side with all the dust. Has been horrible. So but we want to get the hide off, we want to get the quarters out, we want to get it in the shade, we want to get it cooling off as fast as we can. It's the best way for the meat to stay prime. So we got some work to do here. Being we haven't been seeing as many bears as we expected in the afternoons and evening, we decided to try our luck a little earlier in the day. For me, the day before the last day is when the countdown starts and the weight of filling tags gets heavy. 2 days to go and 2 more tags to fill. Right here a little bit earlier this morning, we just pulled up to where we parked the side-by-side and get ready to load out. A huge, beautiful brown and gold bear just took off up the road. But he was moved in. But he was here. Yeah, there's bear track all over right here. Chewing on a leg bone, moose leg. Yeah, big bear tracks. With the dust that's been coming in the quad while we've been, or the side-by-side while we've been driving, we've been having to keep our guns wrapped up to keep the dust off of them. The dust has been really our only challenge with trying to use a side-by-side for up here, but man, we can cover so much more ground so much quicker and not beat the crap out of the trucks. So time to get rolling though. After lunch and not feeling like we were in the right area, we decided to take a gamble on the one spot that had the most sign and head back down to the lower elevation for an evening hunt in our tree stands. It's about 7 p.m. on our second to the last day. And we came back up here where I shot my bear yesterday. There's so much bear sign in here. Preston moved his stand back further on this road about a quarter of a mile. So neither one of us can see the same stretch of road today. And I'm sitting over here by this water hole, and he's back where he can see kind of over a hill and down a straight stretch of road. So we're just gonna hang out here until around 8:30. Hopefully Preston gets his bear and I can go. I'm back to being trigger man tomorrow. Holy crap, Preston got his second bear. He just dropped him. He didn't even move. Nice job.
High five.
Yay, 2 bears for Preston. Whew. So we just finished quartering this bear up and getting it bagged up and ready to pack out to the side-by-side in like probably 30 minutes. And we hunt for meat, so we're taking everything, just leaving the hide and the guts. But we just finished up. Preston got his second bear, which is a first for Preston. It's not his second bear, but it's his second bear in the same year. So just want to distinguish that. That's what your one,
Stacking
two,
up my
three,
body
4.
count.
That's your fifth. This is your 5th bear.
Yep.
In 4 years. Nice sit down, Preston. That was a super good shot too. Starting into our last day with one tag still in my pocket, the idea of going home without filling it shifted from uncertainty to something I could feel settling in. We tried to stay positive, kept hunting hard, and found ourselves talking about past trips, how many times we managed to tag out on the final day. But this time, fate had other plans. We wrapped up in our favorite spots, talking about the week and how unpredictable every one of our hunts and fishing trips seemed to be, and just soaked in those last couple hours in the woods. Back at camp, cooking our final dinner, we found ourselves reflecting on all the firsts and the new experiences this trip gave us. And I'll be honest, driving back to load up the side-by-side, it hit me harder than I expected. There's something about these trips, the quiet miles, the shared work, the small moments you don't realize are big until they're behind you. I wasn't ready for it to end. Part of me wished I could freeze time right there. Just a dad, his son, and one last tag riding in the glove box. Not because I needed to fill it, but because I wasn't ready to let go of the days that came with it.